Call this meeting to order. Hope everyone can hear me. Welcome to our monthly meeting. We hope you all have been staying warm the last couple of days. Initially, tonight's still gonna be a little chilly. Got a little agenda we're gonna start getting through. And first is the review of what we've done last month. I feel like it's in Virginia. Is that all we can?
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's well this evening. Has everyone had a chance to look over the consent agenda? Any additions, corrections before we start going through? Nothing? Are we still looking? Do we want a little more time? Not looking.
And go get an agenda.
What's the story gonna be about, do you know?
No, I don't. That's someone else's department.
I'm a little worried.
Right now, I just want to get the agenda, motion to approve. Gary, second.
Yeah.
Norm, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Motion, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Who made the motion?
Gary White made the first one, Norm seconded. Okay, the possible article and news story. I guess we're gonna hand that off to,
Everybody, I think I talked to you about this before, but we are going to have an investigative reporter in the poverty law group that is going to be doing a homeless feature, and she has asked permission to attend one of our meetings. This probably won't happen until January, but I want to bring you up to speed. Obviously, I don't want to do anything without your approval. And, as I said, she's gonna be, doing a story on the committee efforts being done in Pinellas County. I've got Nick, has, intimate knowledge about the reporter as well. Yeah. So, that's basically what we want to do. It's nothing that's happening right now. She's on assignment, will not be available till January, but she will be attending one of our meetings. And, I wish I had more to tell you, but unfortunately at this time I do not. Okay? But that's something for discussion.
Gary did a really good job of describing it. The entire reason why I talked to Gary about this is the work that y'all have been doing, to tell your stories, to get the word out about what your experience, what your life is actually like, to the people who have the power to make changes, to make things better. This report works for the Southern Poverty Law Center, so it's not like a reporter from ABC News or CNN or something. It is someone who wants to tell a friendly story to the experience of unhoused people. And so, yeah, if you don't want to be part of the story, you don't have to be. She will ask for permission before she uses anyone's name or anything like that. And I think she mostly just wants to come and be a fly on the wall and see the great work that y'all are doing. And follow Gary around maybe one day as he goes and talks to other folks. Like he does so often, about the resources and stuff that we're working on, in this committee.
Thank you.
And I just want to add, I've worked with people from the Southern Poverty Law Center as well. They will go national. They are very friendly. I just want to add to what Nick just said. Very friendly. And for the cause of people experiencing homelessness or poverty. They have legal staff as well, lots of investigative journalism. And that's all I wanted to share.
Did you work with the homeless structure?
What do you think of one? So one of the ways that all of this started, I don't know if y'all are familiar with some of the activities going on in St. Pete. There's a restaurant owner near the downtown area who sued the city of St. Pete because she didn't feel like they were doing an adequate job, essentially clearing homeless folks out of the Williams Park area in downtown St. Pete. So Southern Poverty Law Center, its legal team has gotten involved and joined into the lawsuit as what's known as an intervening party, basically saying, this is ridiculous. You can't arrest people for sleeping. And also to the city of St. Pete, you're not gonna arrest your way out of homelessness. And so they do have a legal team working on a case in Pinellas County as well.
I was waiting, might be looking to, make homeless negative spotlight. So I'm glad to hear that.
Um, about the opportunity for the journalist taking clues, right? Is this in-depth story exactly in relation to homelessness?
It's about getting our homeless story out there. Other than that, as I stated before, I don't have exact information.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down with her in January, in which case I'll give a full disclosure. But this is
Yeah.
the about it. My concern is to find out what you feel about it before attending one of our meetings.
Okay,
That's essentially what this is about.
yeah, because I understand that the Southern Poverty Law Center is a very controversial organization.
Really?
And they brand other groups as, what is it? No good or something like that. This is not, I've read about that.
Where did,
And I don't want anything like that here. That's why I asked. Now, Caitlin Cruz is a journalist and author, but if she works for them, she might have to slant whatever she says in whatever they want at Southern Poverty Center. That's why I asked. I think whatever she speaks about should only be about homelessness. Now, I noticed there were some articles previous from the Southern Poverty Law Center. One was notably in 2024. The Southern Poverty Law Center, there was an article that joins them on a about criminalization of homelessness. They're against that. And that's wonderful, right? Of course, homelessness should definitely not be criminalized. But they published an article on April 1924 relation to that. The other article from them was Southern Poverty Law Center urges the U.S. Supreme Court to assert the rights of homeless people. And that was on April 22nd, 24. And there was another article, the Supreme Court homelessness ruling about, I think this came in 2024. The Supreme Court stated that it is not illegal to be homeless, but the homeless cannot, sleep in, on property, public property, and that's where we started, things about helping the homeless, right? Other areas to the, but anyway, that's what I know about the thing, right? But I believe if you can find out exactly, what, is she gonna talk about homelessness? Yeah. On that, this in-depth story. I think that would be the appropriate thing for this, but I don't think from the state, where is it? The Southern Poverty Law Center, that there should be anything in there about branding or accusing, organizations or groups of, bad. Right? And they shouldn't have any political things in that.
Right.
Where the political, okay, that's my view.
I appreciate your concerns, Norman. I don't know, I can't validate the information. I've read nothing but nice things about them, but it's already been said flat out that we want something in the positive light, not the negative light. And she's very positive type of report against homelessness. So yeah, that's the whole.
Yeah, the story's gonna be about homelessness in Pinellas County. The point is to tell the experience of people who are experiencing homelessness. As to the last point you made, they are a nonpartisan organization. Their tax exempt status depends on that, so they're not gonna be political in any way. They're gonna stick to facts and laws.
I just want to add that what she writes about is what she writes about. We just have to, if she, question you, an answer truthfully, faithfully, and what the experience is of being homeless. And for it comes across in the reporting, what it's like, what the prospects are, and why this is not, a good time to be homeless with funds getting short, ice running around, and government's just shrinking the budgets. So we make the presentation as a group or individually, that what's happening on the street. It will help us, it can't hurt us. So just be yourself, let them know, let her know what's happening out there on the streets and hopeful for the future. So you're not be completely down, because we are together, we do come together once a month, we do try to support each other. And it's exactly the kind of thing we want to make sure that comes across, that we're not all drug addicts, we're not all alcoholics, we're not all bad people that need to be locked away, arrested, or put in jail. That's not what we're about. So if that comes across, it would be a good and positive thing for us, this out there. And next, we did the final storytelling workshop. Oh,
Hey,
Thanks.
So I understand Oh, can I come on up there? So, I understand, when the executive committee is here, or your leadership talked to Sherry about planning the, agenda, you asked me to bring back the brown paper. Okay, so I've got the brown paper. So I have our draft. I love that you are revisiting a draft as a, former English teacher. It's like, this is great. We gotta relook at things. So, I'm gonna put this back up on the wall, and we're gonna look at, everybody get a copy of the poem that AI kind of created? Okay, I'm gonna tell you how that happened, and then you all need to make some decisions, and you can do some more shaping and all that stuff, and all that. Okay, you wanna, oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so if you remember, so we talked about in the middle of, end of summer, it was about, do we want to tell our stories? How are we going, should we tell our stories? How can we tell our stories? We looked at that poem, Being Poor Is, just those statements. We all read them. I think that's mighty powerful. And then we then the next meeting, I had asked y'all to think of some topics or things that you might want to write about. A handful of people had some ideas, maybe a title or two, a different sentence. And so we talked about that a little bit. And then I think it was the next meeting. Then I brought the brown paper and we kind of brainstormed together because it seemed like people weren't, writing their whole big thing and bringing it to the group, which is fine. So let's try a group brainstorm. So that's what we did. And if you remember, we started because it's 2 months ago. So the prompt up there, if you can't read from that far, as you know, I can't. I wish you knew ... So how would we fill in the blank? And so these are some of the things that people contributed from this group. Not or just all homeless. It's not or just all the homeless who litter. Gary, I think you added that.
Yeah.
And then what we need. We might not look homeless. I think we want to shower more than once a week, and we don't have mental or health issues. Don't need to go to the bottom of the list. Oh, that was, people with children and families kind of go to the top of the list. And it's like, hey, come on, am I ever gonna, get a break, I guess, right? I think, Kat, you might have said that. Getting help early. Oh, and then, single adults go to the bottom of the list. And then getting help early prevents other problems. And that's science. I mean, that's data. That's proven. So what you're adding is absolutely, supported by the data. There's childhood trauma. I know that Jennifer Paincutt frequently spoke about that, and that was a big part of her story. That not everyone might know or have the knowledge of services and the resources that we have, the little yellow book, or that meal list that you all put together that Gary hands out, or the resource list. Trauma at all stages. And I think that's something I've really learned a lot from April Lott, who works with trauma and behavioral and mental health, is that trauma, I think, and I'm not an expert, but I think trauma sets in even the fear of eviction. Whether you get evicted or not, it's like, oh my God, we're getting the bills, or the water got turned off, or this or that. I can't imagine that will ever leave your experience to know what that feels like. You just want to cook your own meals, not cold and packaged. I remember, Norm, when I brought those Texas cake brownies, and you're like, oh, I love homemade, so it's not in a little cellophane wrapper. So I'm sure, you want to cook your own meals. And then target people who, and then y'all talked a little bit about, people who target people, I think maybe Kat, I don't know if you, but people who prey on the vulnerable population, raise their rent, charge them, big deposit fees. And $1,200 a month, for lot rent. Mobile home park here.
Yeah, our lot rent is going up $60 as of January, which is everybody in the whole park is just, in my view, in the embassy book she puts up, she said, oh, well, the lot rent's only gonna go up 2.3%. Well, then she turned around at $60 more.
Yeah,
And that's just highway robbery, and people are literally moving out of the park. So, but we have every kind of person in the park you can think of now, even kids, Black, Latino. So many Canadians are back and like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Most of them left, but we do have them back, some of them. Yes, a few.
and maybe that's something Gary or Nick or whoever's coordinating with that Southern Poverty Law Center reporter is to go and talk to people who are housed but on the edge.
Right.
And what would you need to make it? And then,
It's hard.
yeah, there have been reports recently about different countries. I know California has done a trial with just giving people cash and helping them close the gap, and it's been very successful. And then the net positive is to help, and I don't know what that T is there for, but, to community. So this is what we brainstormed, and then Norm gave me, is this what you gave me? Because I took a picture of it, and you have very nice numbers.
Thank you.
And
It's here.
It's
It's the yellow.
So Norm gave me that night that I took this home with me, he gave me a big, long narrative of what it's like, and that's where the title came from, on 49th Street Bench, was from Norm's writing. So Norm wrote, and there was part of the story was about a person who had a job as a certified nurse. It's right here. Well, but this is,
Reflections.
yeah, but isn't this what you gave me?
This is my notes.
Yeah, this is what.
Agenda. Oh, you want to show them my writing?
Well, I'll show you but anyway, it wasn't this. He gave me something that was like this. Lots of writing on it, and it had this story about a person who had been employed as a certified nursing assistant. They take you back and take your blood pressure and your blood and all that business before a doctor comes in. And then this person lost her job because her parent got sick and she needed to take care of the parent, whatever. And so I fed this information as well as Norm's longer narrative into ChatGPT, and this is what it came out with. And I said, I think I put in a few descriptors in Pinellas County, Florida, so that it can pull from data like how many homeless we have, what our climate's like, whatever it uses. And so this is what it produced. And I liked it, but it's not, and I shared it with you all. So, and you all have a copy now. Jennifer, who's, she moved back up into North Carolina, but Jennifer really liked it. She wanted to share it with people. And I said, you helped create it. You can do what you want with it. April Lott was very pressed, and she wanted to be able to share it with other adults in her, professionals. But I told her I needed to get permission from you all because it's your document. And if you don't like it, if it doesn't, if something's wrong, I think you guys can further shape it and give some feedback if you want to change anything. If you want to start over, it's up to you. So what we'll do today is just talk about your feelings. Well, if you don't mind, we have some time. How about if we read it together? We can start with Norm, and just read a stanza. That's the chunk, just the chunk before breaking. Each one of you can read a stanza.
Yeah.
Yeah, just read it out loud
Okay.
and pass the microphone.
Yeah. I think it's called Reflections from the Bench on 49th Street. I wish you knew, not all stories come with an address. Some live folded in the creases of a blanket, beneath the whisper of streetlights, where the pavement remembers every step of someone trying to find their way back home.
What we need isn't always charity. Sometimes it's a shower more than once a week, a door that locks, a chance to cook a meal that isn't cold or wrapped in plastic. Sometimes it's simply to be seen, to not feel invisible.
I used to be a CNA. I cared for others when they were at their worst, weakest. Now I sit here wondering, how did I get here? It could happen to anyone. One lost paycheck, one illness, one car accident, and the ground gives way beneath you.
I don't sleep. I just keep thinking about the apartment I used to decorate for holidays, about my mother's kitchen, about the neighbors who stopped waiting when I stopped looking the part. Many of us might not look homeless, but we are. The clean shirt from the thrift store doesn't always show. The ache of the night spent upright on this bench.
We don't all have mental health or substance abuse issues. Some of us just ran out of options. And when we reach for help, we find the list. Families first, single adults at the bottom, waiting for a turn that rarely comes. If only they knew, getting help early saves more than money. It saves people, prevents deeper wounds.
Yeah, turn the page.
Well, I didn't finish.
I don't, that's okay, we didn't go too much. Did you turn the page over in the back, Silas? Yeah.
Do you need my 2 sentences?
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Then lessens the trauma that seeps into every day of being unsure where you'll sleep next.
People in need don't always know what resources even exist, and fear of asking, the shame, it builds a wall higher than rent. Your childhood trauma is put behind guiding bad choices like old ghosts, but trauma isn't the past, it's the maybe that haunts you. Maybe I won't pay rent, maybe they'll evict me, maybe tomorrow I'll have no rent.
Still, there's kindness, a stranger who buys you coffee, a pastor who lets you charge your phone, an outreach worker who remembers your name. Tiny mercies that make you believe the world hasn't forgotten you completely.
So I sit here on this bench on 49th Street, thinking about how fragile everything is and how easy it would be to fix if only we all cared a little looser.
Donate, volunteer, advocate for affordable housing in your city, because one day someone you love might whisper, "I wish you knew," and you'll realize you always did.
Y'all did a good job. I will tell you, so Michael, your chair up here, put those words on, images. And so he developed a PowerPoint. And where we might use a PowerPoint again is all up to you, to give permission or whatever, but I'm gonna pass it around. I did bring a projector and stuff, and maybe, when I get here early the next time, I can set it up. But take a look at the work Michael did to put those images with some of the different lines of that, piece. We call it a poem, right? It reads like a poem. Okay, so any comments on what do you think about it? Okay, but yeah,
So I base mine from a perspective of, two people I spent with, one 3 years, one 2 years, I so wanted to get him off the street. I wasn't successful, and I don't consider it a failure. But I learned life when they inside. One was 69, one was 82. All I know is the one that helped me with the sheriff came down. Go back down. Worked for the sheriff for 5 years. So when they came down to me, all I wanted to do was go, I'm helping them. And I figured the way they found out I was a drug dealer, because aid workers, if you spend too much time, and I go into character, I don't shave and all that, because I spent days with them. And the homeless people just want to break a lot of mental problems that they can't be, they can't keep control. And it's hard. That's the hardest thing, is to get employment, because this type of Bay Area is extremely expensive. It's just to get a room, and both homeless men, not one homeless, to meaning the resources we have here, because they don't like dealing with other problems, with other people with their addictions, and so that's the hardest part to accept, because when you get old, homeless, it's more fun.
I'm sure it's not fun anytime, but yeah.
No, but when you're young, you can fight your way
Yeah.
back, and you can move faster. And you can, but the older we get on, I'm 67, and the older guy, so I did everything I could for him. And being a Christian, all I wanted to do was give him the love of self, and to do something, keep him off the street. That's what we're going to plan to do.
That is, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You know best because you're out there. And I think, on my Facebook page, there's a, I don't, Gary, you probably saw it. I don't know, somebody might have commented, but it's these, house or sleeping pods that are underneath overpasses. Did you see that at all? And so it's like stacked up, so there's like 2 of them, and all it is a little light in there, a mattress, and it locks. And so you can go in at night and be warm and sheltered and safe and locked up, so nobody's gonna come and steal your things or harm you. And you have to get a code. Now, whether you get a code from a case manager or however you get that code to be able to use, at least there's, safety there. So, I mean, those are some things that if we do research on what's working where, I know there was this project called Atlanta One. Atlanta really put a lot of resources and tried to make strides. We could, as a group, look at that, study and report and see what might work here in Pinellas County. But yeah, it's, I think we gotta get creative. What else? We come back to the poem. Yeah, Mary.
There's a in South St. Pete, rents only to veterans, and he's taken 2 apartments and he's taken the first apartment, made it into 2 apartments because it had 2 bathrooms, and he's doing it again. So I told another man who rents only to veterans about it. So now he's gonna take an apartment with 2 bathrooms, and he's gonna make it into, so that's another thing that people can do,
Yes.
is take an apartment and make it into 2 apartments, because this man in South St. Pete has already done it. And then the man that I talked to, is going to do it also. So that's a great possibility. Well, it's happening right now.
And that's where, and I do want to get back so we can finish the poem thing, but But that's where we can go to a city like St. Pete or Clearwater or Largo or Pinellas Park and say, this is going on. We want you to give that landlord a break, incentivize them, do something nice for that landlord to make sure that more landlords think about doing that, making smaller apartments, whether it's targeted towards families or, vets, or, as you said, Kat, the regular single adults who always get moved to the bottom because they don't have a special tag on their identifier. Okay, we're gonna swing it back to the poem, so, I'll know what to tell April Lot or others, about your thoughts about it and where it can go, if it can go anywhere. I hope everybody, because y'all are regulars, you guys are great, you got great attendance. I hope everybody sees part of their voice or their contribution in that poem. Do you? Because I remember, all that's in there somewhere. But do you see part of your contribution in there? Do you want to add to it or change it in any way? Yeah, that's true.
There were only two parts that I noticed that I was just gonna throw out there in case it breaks the seal, for more discussion. That I used to be a CNA, I cared for others when they were at their weakest. We all identify with that or not, but that's one thing. And then the only other part was towards the end where it talks about childhood trauma follows close behind, guiding bad choices like old ghosts. That guiding bad choices like old ghosts. Those are the two areas that I just want to point out, just I could get some feedback on too, how you all feel about that.
I think, Jennifer was more of the trauma, but maybe that line about guiding bad choices like old ghosts implies that bad choices continue to be made, maybe, and maybe you don't want that there. But I'm gonna let Norm speak to the CNA part because that came from his document. So if you want to explain that CNA, do you remember what you shared with me about the CNA information?
The CNA?
Yeah, that woman who told the story on 49.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I'm trying to, I don't have those exact notes with me
Okay.
today.
I
didn't
have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I can pull it up on my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah,
Okay,
but, that's what she was,
yeah,
and I think she lost her job or something. And, the rest of it, the hardship we had.
right.
And it makes you think, and how are you gonna get back to normal
Right.
again? By the way, you talked about the overpasses. I was in, Washington DC. I saw the homeless people in there. They are going under, over the overpasses, to stay warm and so. That's a good idea,
Yeah.
when you haven't got any place to be in.
Especially if it's snowing or raining.
Yeah, Washington is colder than, okay.
Okay, so Norm gave me that document, and again, they kind of, it looked like this. So you can see there's a whole lot of writing, and he's got good picture, but it was a lot. And I, he told the woman's story that's not in this room. And so Sherry makes a good point about whether or not you want to include that. And then, again, it's up to you. So any discussion on that?
I'd like to see a little more information about first-hand knowledge. If we look, tell somebody, tell the story that we're interpreting.
Got it.
We're
Okay.
interpreting her
Okay.
story.
Okay, then let's look at how it flows if we take out a part about, is this yours, Benjamin?
Like, if one can.
Yes, so, all right, so if we end at the stanza above it, so it's got, sometimes it's simple to be seen to not feel invisible. Let's take off the I used to be, because that's, yeah. Now I sit here wondering how I did. How about, we could just change it, take away the now and say, I sit here wondering, how did I get here? And then,
I can apply to anybody.
yeah, now, I don't know if she wrote it, I can't remember exactly, but what do you think about, okay, So how about if we take out, you know, if I'm editing out the CNA stuff, I would take out the line, I used to be a CNA, cross that out. I cared for others who are at their weakest, cross that out. Now, if we just start, how about take out now and just start with, I sit here wondering, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got all that, and then I don't sleep, I just keep thinking, because I think people in here talked about how it's hard to sleep. What about okay, everybody's okay with, I think about the apartment I used to decorate for the holidays or my mom's kitchen, okay, good. All right, so if we get back to the back part where Sherry mentioned haunted, the trauma and haunted by, okay, so it's the first full stanza on the back, right below those two lines. So people in need don't always know what resources even exist, and the fear of asking, the shame that builds a wall higher than rent. Childhood trauma follows close behind. We could just take off guiding bad choices like we're close. It could read, please, you agree? Okay, so take out, so if we kept childhood trauma follows close behind, but trauma isn't just the past, it's the maybe that haunts you. Are you okay with just taking out that one line about guiding bad choices now? So I think at least people in our group are making some really bad choices.
Bad choices like all those, so.
Take that out, yeah, so we'll cross that one out. What else, Kat, anything else you're seeing?
Not really concerned with making rent because none of us really, we're worried, I'm worried about, being able to fix my car.
Yeah, yeah.
Losing everything I own because I can't afford it anymore.
Okay, do you want to do we want to change the maybes to something that's more accurate of this group? So the trauma isn't just the past, it's the maybe that haunts you. So what might be maybes that would reflect,
Maybe tomorrow I'll have nowhere to go.
okay?
That's that's the main thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the last line. Do we want to just leave that last line and take out the middles, or do we want to replace them with something?
It's the maybe that haunts you. Maybe tomorrow I'll have nowhere.
Okay, John. Everybody okay with Kat's suggestion? Did you hear Kat's suggestion?
You can add to it.
Yes, we can add to it.
A lot of people, maybe tomorrow I'll be in jail and have nothing.
Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll be in jail.
That's the thing. It's having
That's
nowhere to
that's
go.
what happens. It's a
I
revolving
can't
door.
think of anyone in this room that's worried about going to jail.
Yeah, but when you lose all your possessions, it means scars and
Yeah.
the older.
Whoever we're trying to reach with this is going to be looking for excuses to go, oh, well, it's their fault, they should bootstraps and all that.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give them any ammo, is what I think.
You know, this is a great point, Gary, is we got to think about who's your audience. So again, and
Let's
again,
don't talk about jail.
you vote not talking about jail? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a reality, I mean,
It didn't happen.
Well, we can-
I've seen homeless get arrested
yeah,
myself.
okay. I've seen homeless get arrested too. But again,
That's their lifestyle. That's what they choose.
we made,
Real quick, and I won't need a microphone for this,
yeah,
especially in discussions like this, please make sure that you have the microphone so we can record what you say, so it all shows up on our meeting,
okay,
okay?
okay.
That's critical. Thank you.
we went to great lengths in this group to avoid jail. But
Yes.
we can mention jail, so it gets their attention, or whoever reads the poem.
We think it's a negative light. We don't need to shine.
Yeah, but we.
But it's a reality more, right? I mean, it's the reality of what people worry about.
That's what you did with Cat, and you know, how to deal with the police and how to deal with when the encounter. And the one person I got to really know, he had mental health issues, so he couldn't control the encounter.
I'll give it to them.
But that's what I.
Okay. You want to counter it?
No.
You sure?
No.
Okay, well, this is shaping, this is when, when you have a group effort, it's about shaping together and explaining your rationale.
Okay.
Um,
This is beautiful, laid out. It's beautiful.
as far as I'm concerned, it's up to everybody in the group, but I just wanted to say, he's not wrong, because I've actually seen it up at base, St. Vincent and Paul, I've seen it happen like in front of my eyes, I mean, this, they sit up there.
Homeless getting arrested.
Yeah,
Yes.
it only takes you not doing or moving in a certain way, or you just don't smell right or something I've seen them arrest people up there that didn't do anything wrong.
I don't think it's so much about being arrested as it is the people that we're trying to reach with this farm are people with resources that they can bring to the table that would help all of us. And if we give them the impression that we're like, all right, if they were homeless, they could see themselves maybe get rented and now that would be scary for them. They can relate to us on a human level. That's really what we're looking for. So that we can, open the door for conversation and then we can make moves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's a good point, and part of it, Lady Cat, is that this is the fear that people have, so it's not that, they're like, well, let's go get arrested, or it's part of what we're talking about is the fear of that. It's the fear of asking, the shame it builds, but the trauma isn't just the past. It's maybe tomorrow I'll be in jail. That's traumatic to think about.
Right.
Maybe they'll find me under that shrub or under that bridge. And I'm not able to get my stuff up and move along. And so they're gonna take me away. I've witnessed that as well in Clearwater and riding once in the middle of the night. A older woman was sitting under a bank drive-through teller and she just had her, old lady kind of purse there. And the officer said, you can't stay up here because the bank cameras. So I wouldn't have seen her, but, got called in and, she either had to get up and start walking or she was gonna be taken to Safe Harbor. And she said, I'm not going to Safe Harbor. She said, it's not safe there. And, she had her reason. So up she got and she's, walking slow all the night. So I'm sure she had the fear of teachers. Okay, so we want to vote on keeping maybe tomorrow I'll be in jail? You okay with that? Most of us? You okay, Kat? Okay. Okay. Anything else there you want to add in that, the maybes that one?
Maybe you could add like the word unjustly put in jail.
Okay. I'll be unjustly in jail?
Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
okay.
Some simple, small things that get us steered in the right direction.
Okay, okay. And so then the last line of that stanza is maybe tomorrow, I'll have nowhere to go.
Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
You okay with that? Or maybe I'm afraid that tomorrow I'll wake up and do it. Okay, okay. Sherry, you got something? Oh, goodness.
Well, I'm thinking about, so maybe tomorrow I'll have nowhere to go. And then probably, because of having nowhere to go, then someone ends up in jail. I had something that.
Or maybe tomorrow I'll have nowhere to go or wake up in jail.
Okay.
That puts that in the mind of the people that are reading it that don't know that it might be legal to sleep. It might be
Yeah.
people,
Exactly, just for sleeping. I'll wake up because I was sleeping overnight. That's excellent. It ties in with that legislation.
Yeah.
Very
Wake up in
good.
jail, yeah.
Yep, because I was
What they
sleeping
do.
on the bench. Okay, all right, excellent.
Maybe I'll go under there when
Okay. Anybody want to take another glance at anything we want to shape or add, delete? Okay, so do people have permission to use this outside of this room, to share this? And how are we going to indicate the author of this piece? Is this the week committee, the 2025? Go ahead, Gary.
Make one,
Sure.
the world has forgotten you, please instead of you, okay, because the word us.
Okay, the world hasn't forgotten us completely, okay. Still there's kindness. Yes, I like that. That's good. That's, us is good.
You know?
Yep.
We kind of want to pull them in on a circle.
Yep. And when we're writing us, even though it's actually so I sit, it's kind of a first person. It's still, it's all good. So our author, are we going to be composed by the 2025 COC Lived Experience Advisory Committee?
I think we should.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. All right. So here's what I envision. If you can, you know, I think we'll get this cleaned up and you all will be given at least one copy, if not two, that those are yours. I will send it, or Sharon will send it to you digitally. Once it's all polished up, you've got it. Yep, sounds.
Should be numbers on because HR board members.
Members of, good, okay, sure. Yep. So you'll all get it, it's yours, and then, so I know April, you all met April, so she's CEO of the Directions for Living, yep. And so she would like to use it, I'm not exactly sure, but again, she had told me she wanted to use it with some of her like trainings or leaders. I know Sherry and I are giving presentations about the point in time count to some different cities. I did one last night for the League of Women Voters of North Pinellas. They're very engaged in legislation and advocating, you know, for fairness. They're nonpartisan also. But in sharing with them the PIT report, you know, maybe we want to share voices of people with lived experience here in Pinellas County. Do you want it on the webpage? You know, do you want it under the Lived Experience Advisory Committee webpage or resources or whatever? This is the product of this group. And we could also link Michael's PowerPoint.
You use it to draw attention to something, but we might not have something yet, but you know what I mean? It's a good way to get people who wouldn't normally be focused on that to open their mind.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I think any one of you could take this to a council meeting or anything, and you know, you could use your 3 minutes and just say, I'm here representing, or as a member of the COC Lived Experience Advisory Committee, and we've created this poem to help you understand the complexity of homelessness, and just read it. And just say, you know, you could say your closing comments, if you'd like to talk to me and learn more, you know, meet me after the meeting, or I'll give you my contact information. I think that would be really powerful. I think everybody sitting in that room for that meeting, all the directors of the, you know, public works and police and fire, I think it would be silent and people would have your attention. I don't think anybody's ever done anything like that. And I think reporters that listen in or whatever, we listen to meetings, I think they might be like, I gotta reach out to that person.
30 minutes, 90 seconds as well.
Well, 33 minutes, oh, at the legislative, yeah, our allowing 90 seconds, but most councils have about 3 minutes. So what do you think about how to use it in audiences? Gary asked about audiences. Can you think of other audiences?
else, can we send about 1,000 of them to Tallahassee?
That would be just fantastic.
Separately, everyone.
I'll drop them up. I mean,
Yeah.
for the postage.
Yeah,
It'd be nice if we could get a print on the check.
you better believe it, Silas. Yep.
I mean.
And
can
I
we-
know
Can we
Maybe
take
the
Michael's
reporter that's coming in.
presentation here and do it with the new wording and
yes,
do something massive with it?
yeah, Michael can change can you edit your PowerPoint with the edited version of the poem? Put and change it? You could put that PowerPoint, Sherry, right, on the website, under League or the COC website, people can access it. I will, with your permission, I can make an appeal to, his name is Graham Brink. He's the editorial board lead for the Tampa Bay Times. Nick, do you know Graham? Graham Brink? Yeah. So he's the one who makes decisions about letters to the editor or editorials. I think this would be profound in that, especially with somebody like Kat maybe writing, maybe Kat and I could write the appeal to print that, and Kat could say, I want it to reach every legislator in Tallahassee, just like you said, I mean, that's your words. And because they're getting ready to go up into their session at the beginning of January.
Yeah.
And so we could tell Graham, we give them enough time, you know, to figure out when it's gonna be, can be published, because I'm telling you, they get thousands of letters that they can read. But if we get in there, so do we have permission to do that?
I think we should do that, yes.
Make a motion.
Second,
Michael,
If you wanted to, I mean, it's a nice presentation. I'm thinking what we just did tonight, each one was reading a paragraph, telling, there's 10 paragraphs in this. So we'll make a nice, audio presentation, like from us, along with the pictures, so when they click on it, they can hear it, they can see it's not just a random, AI generated poem, it's from real people, experience homelessness. Not just a single voice, but tons. And want to do that, that can be done,
okay,
and it's completely anonymous.
That'd be nice too, but that thing, getting that.
to the Tampa Bay Times, I do, yeah.
The only way that you're gonna piss somebody off that's going to get them to write a letter to the people in the government is getting that under. And then that's gonna be the best way to do it, is getting it in.
Nick, you've done a lot of advocacy, you want to weigh in, what do you think? You think the Tampa Bay Times would publish it? Do you think we should do the Catalyst and others?
The catalyst is generally a little easier to get in. The only thing I would wonder or worry about is the length of this for the Tampa Bay Times. I mean, they might be willing to make an exception, but this is generally longer, creative livings.
Okay,
Well, I mean, like Tampa Bay Times.
let's try the Tampa Bay Times first. I will tell you, were you here for that meeting, Flores? That we read that one by Michael Scalzi? That was published first in the Chicago Tribune because I was living there. I mean, I remember getting it when it was print, but they did it in these little stanzas. So it was a little box. So this doesn't, you know, it can be formatted to maybe just take up. I mean, I could do a word count, but,
I just think in doing aspect that, like I said, it takes motivation to get somebody to pull out a piece of paper and start writing.
Yeah.
something.
yeah,
And that's gonna be the best way, because it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the best reach of reaching those kind of people in a major paper like that. It's, you know, the other ones, creative loafing stuff, they're good, but
let's try Tampa Bay
the
Times first.
people that you want that to be,
Yeah.
put their nose under are gonna be those people who are gonna.
Sound good, Ken? And then you and I will work on the ask.
okay,
And then, yeah, we'll do the one that's edited. What else, Sherry? Anything else we got? Okay, all right, so I'm gonna edit this. I will send the edited versions to the whole leak committee. Michael's gonna work on editing the PowerPoint for if and when we want to use that part of the presentation. Do we want to, at the next meeting we get together, record ourselves? I have, you know, voice, whatever, record ourselves reading those stanzas.
so we have an audio ready.
So we have an audio that would go with the PowerPoint. How do you know technically about doing that?
I do.
Because, do you? Okay,
Have you not seen the studio on my phone?
no, I have not, but I trust that. All right, so will you be in charge of recording the audio next meeting? Like you can do that? Okay, so everybody's in that same location that is gonna read the stanza for the sounds. Okay, all right, all good. And, all right, so if we're gonna post this online, that means the people can take it and use it. So April Lott can use it with her group. You all can take it before a council meeting if you want, right? It's gonna be out there in the public with your author, your name, attribution. Alrighty, I think we made good progress.
We'll have a warranty to use it for something.
Yeah, I think she did. She's like, can I take this and use this? And I said, I need to ask your permission. So I can ask her to send the link, through, her ideas of where she might want to use it. I'll
I'm
ask.
curious.
Yeah, I'll be seeing her next week for sure. Yeah,
I think that's really, that's about it, and especially depending on line like that, it will be extremely powerful. I did want to ask a question, that's been on my mind, what's in mind? Do we have anything like, you know, that we meet people as we go about our daily lives? And sometimes it might be somebody that's very influential. And I've had it happen to me more than one occasion. And I'm like, then please come to our homeless meeting. Do we have anything printed out? Come and sit in at our homeless meeting, anything whatsoever to the library meeting, time and all that to give to folks when they're actually interested. Now, I've had several people say they would love to come to the meeting that were authority figures in, you know, I've yet to see that happen yet, but do we have anything to give out, or that would be awesome.
I'll let Sherry answer. Go ahead, Simon. I'm sure it's on the website, our schedule, but go ahead, Simon.
I've actually thought about that several times myself. And then the easiest thing for something like that would be business cards. If we had, there's a specific, because I use the cards that, you know, Gary has and that has the website stuff on it. If one side of it was blank, where like somebody could put their name on it or something like that. But yeah, we need to have something that is like the business cards that we already have, but something where it's people that are in the committee like this, like if I go somewhere and I find somebody, here's this, and I can, and there's a space on one side of it where I can put my contact information. So it's somebody that I see at 7-Eleven or this here, I can go and do that. Yeah, it just makes it feel a little bit more professional. We can do something.
I think it's a really good idea for, people in authority, people in power, elected officials to hear from y'all. I do wanna like issue a little bit of caution, particularly for like a meeting. Sometimes there can be a tendency for people like that to step in and take over something that's not theirs. And so, I think that it needs to be made clear to these folks that you are here as an observer. Because we want you to see what we're working on, what we're doing here in our experience. My other thought is that there could be another way to do it where, instead of inviting them to a meeting, holding like a town hall or something, where those folks are in attendance and it's a panel, or sharing stories. Again, like, maybe it would be called a reverse town hall. Because it's less, we hear politicians, people in authority talk all the time. Sometimes they need to be quiet and hear from people like you. So just my 2 cents as a person who has organized similar things like this and invited elected officials and then been like, ooh, I wish I hadn't done that because they just talked the whole time.
Yeah.
Does the card aspect work more for that? They don't have time for you to talk to you or anything. Well, I'm with this people here. You know what I mean? But that's kind of my.
I think the business card is, or something like that, is a great idea to reach to other folks with lived experience. As far as like the group of people that you were talking about, I would do personal invites and personal outreach, you know, calling, emailing. If and when we get to that point, I'm happy to help craft that communication and send it out to elected officials. That's kind of what I do in my day job anyway.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was like, we can use the fund to get people who are like own businesses and things that are concerned to maybe sponsor a dinner for everybody at the park or something that we would set up and run.
For education reasons.
Right, to
Yes.
get everybody's awareness up and have somewhere to point that awareness when we got it. Because going nowhere in circles is not gonna help anybody.
And that's where the business part that I was thinking, well, kind of ties in, because when you go and do that, then you have that card where you can, I am fine with these people, and this is what I'm doing, so it's legit, so it's,
So we want to
I'm
do
not
that,
just straight up.
to get involved and, you know, try to get a circulation of people who actually have resources involved in what we're doing.
Good. And I think maybe, Nick, to your concern about politicians taking out over and being long-winded, Silas, we could say they get 90 seconds. And, you know, and Pat can be the timekeeper. And you know, it's just like they turn off the microphone, it's like, maybe get 90 seconds. Well, truly, right?
They did, they had the paper, you got 15
Yeah.
seconds, and they would just cut people off.
Well, listen, we have more on the agenda. I see you have more on the agenda, so I think we've done a great job. I hope you appreciate it takes time and process, right, to make it the way you want. And then always think about the audience, which is great, Gary. And, yeah, so send good vibes, good juju as, Kat and I reach out to, his name is Graham Brink, the Tampa Bay Times. We'll start up at the top, you know, the most, widely circulated, and then we'll go from there. All right.
Part 5, can't go.
And we'll save this. I'm saving that. That goes under my couch with all my protest.
Oh.
Don't lose that.
No, I won't.
I like that. Okay, so I was supposed to talk about the situation with the government shutdown and our food stamps. And the good news is the government shutdown is over. Yeah. Everybody should get their full food stamp amount.
Can I just ask,
I just got it,
how many of you all get SNAP benefits?
I just got it.
No.
I just got it, I've been looking at this all day, and I looked at it like an hour ago, I just got it.
Is it retroactive? Does it go back? When-
Almost everybody I know gets. Still many people. The Justice Department decided today to drop the request for the Supreme Court to continue blocking the judicial order, so.
Yeah.
SNAP is freed up. Everybody should get their food stamps.
Yeah, they could,
I can go get my juice and drink my water and stuff, and then gain 75 minutes. No.
after, at the end of October, when the funds ran out, some states issued partial payments. Florida didn't. So Florida is clear, within 3 days, you know, people should get their full
Or
amounts.
by the day that it's normally due.
Right, right.
Yours is probably there right now.
Yeah.
I just got it. I just looked on the Propel app, and I just got it. I've been looking, it's like the 5th time I checked today, so I just got it.
Okay, yeah.
Anybody else, food stamp issues over and done with?
That's something else too. If anybody doesn't know, the Propel app on the Play Store, that's the app you should be using to check your food stamps. Once you put all your information and stuff in there, it'll keep all that stuff, so you can just click on the app, you can see what you got. And it helps you with like Amazon memberships and all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely, just before I was watching the news, and I knew that there was no food stamps or anything like that. I also knew that food stamps are maxed out, and you get what you get when you go. And people are really trying, and I've even donated food myself, but I know I'm getting my candy. Well, I got mad at our current government here because, you know, we had that terrible hurricane happening in Jamaica. Now, my doctor was in Jamaica when it happened, but they sent money overseas to Jamaica and one other place. And I'm like, why would they do that? And they can even take care of our own people here. That is pretty not very good. That looks pretty bad on the governor. It looks bad on every elected official here. I was appalled by that, and it really made me sick to my stomach. They love me.
Hey, Kat, I just wanted to say, so he was saying something about, Amazon. Anyone who's on food stamps can get Amazon Prime for half price.
That's awesome.
So you can get stuff delivered to the street and that kind of stuff. I don't know if anybody knew. that. It's happening out recently.
It's okay, like I said,
They build people.
Well,
no,
I got it.
Yeah, you can go through here and it's all sorts of stuff in here. Where Amazon is half price, Walmart Plus is half price, so $5 to get other side, it's
Right down the asphalt.
it'll help. Yep, that's it,
.com.
yes. No, it's in a place where you go to,
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's in there, just put in the word, it'll come right up.
Okay.
It looks like a orange donut or whatever when you get there. Yeah, I was using the state thing for my food stamp and it messed up on me. I had to go to that one, but it has a lot more stuff in there. It helps you do things.
Give us a list. Adjourn.
Yeah. Go ahead. Pretty good.
Next year, we had some comments.
Also, and the last thing, research and I get a copy of the bulletin. The shipping get trips, so please take all the one. Into that. Should be the latest we both.
That's that topic, it ain't probably fixed.
And,
The food density,
right, yeah.
food density, copy that one, okay,
Oh, this is good.
yeah.
Everything.
If you need more, I am doing that, I'll send the PDF to you.
She has a contribution.
Yeah.
That we can add for these mornings.
I have a contribution of resources. There's a food pantry that's been there for 3 years. I just found out about it the other day. It's P-Tech. You go down Roosevelt, you go down, you turn right on Fourth Avenue, you go down, you'll see P-Tech. You go to building number 7. They do this, what time did we get there? Before 12 o'clock.
Double text.
It opens at 12 o'clock. It's called P-Tech. It's the technical college.
Yeah, it's for both text.
Right, you go there, you go to building number 7 through the main entrance, and instead of going in the front, you go to the outside, you'll see, we saw a lady sitting in the back. And we went down there and you sign your name and put your date of birth. You do not have to show ID or anything. You sit there. When we went in there, it was very quick. You're supposed to bring your own bags if you can. We went in, I got like 5 peaches, 5 pears, there's other stuff I passed. But lots of macaroni and macaroni and cheese, 5 boxes of scalloped potatoes, there's stuffing. Then there's also 5 cans of chicken, 5 cans of peanut, and 2 loaves of bread. I got a roll of sausage, I got a cucumber, I got 2 tomatoes, I got 2 lemons. Then on the table, because they have a kitchen, they had all this food set up in containers. Like it was breakfast, there was hamburgers with french fries, and there was hot dogs with french fries. And you take what you want and dessert on the table, and you can go and eat your lunch or your breakfast. It's pretty awesome. I was that's every Tuesday, and I believe you can go there, twice or 3 times a month, at least twice, I know that.
You have to live in the zip code?
No zip code. They want no ID or nothing, just your name and your date of birth. This is that simple. It was really nice. Yeah, and you walk out there, get something to eat and take with you. We took breakfast because I saved it for the next day. It was really wonderful. And I really appreciated these people. They were super nice. I've never been to a place like that before, but it's very well worth it. You can go twice a week. It's every Tuesday, twice a month, I believe, but it's every Tuesday. Everybody, please go there if you can, because it's very well worth it.
You said 12 noon?
Oh, yeah, you get your lunch, I mean, they put the food out because it's the technical college, they have a kitchen, you know?
When they started, and you said,
It's been going on for 3 years.
At 12 noon, does it start, does it begin at 12 noon, or, yeah, what are the times?
What are the times? From 12 to 2, 12 to 2. Yeah, it's very well worth it. We went at 11 o'clock and just sit there and we started seeing people come up, and people with kids
yeah,
and
so
all.
it's right on top of the park rehab, that's right there in the corner.
Well, when you make a right on 154th Avenue, you go down until you see P-TAC. And main entrance is where you want to go. And just stop at the end before you go past the building. So you're going to want to go right there and walk. You'll see a couple of picnic tables and you can walk back.
Yeah,
And you'll-
like this right there, there's a gas station and then like right across the street there, there's a rehab right there. If you make that right or left, that goes down towards P-TAC off of Roosevelt, you go down into High Point right before you hit that first traffic light there.
Yeah, you're
That first
you're going to
traffic
be
light.
further down.
Yeah.
But there's also the third place that's around the corner at the end of the road there, but I'm not sure what that place is yet, because yeah, it's such a line, I didn't even want to mess with that, so maybe next time. But that place is very well worth it to go, and people would be amazed what you can get. We were happy, I really was. And I mostly appreciated how nice the people were, and the fact they didn't care what race I was or ID or anything, and, you know, they were just very pleasant. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
We'll get a bus, Gary, so you can take us home.
I'm telling, we do the bus, would be great. Then we can, I mean, no problems getting the morning, I need to go.
Make sure, Northside Baptist is gonna be having a Thanksgiving basket distribution,
Oh, nice.
right? Also, the 14th, we'll be having a veterans meal and a concert. The band Carolina will be playing, it's a free concert. Feel free to attend. Where?
I'm hearing.
Okay, Northside Baptist, my church on 60th and 38th.
What time?
11:30, I think it is.
11:30.
I will get the flyer. I have to pull it up in my email. I'll put the flyer and bounce it to you. But it's for the veterans benefit.
Yeah, maybe.
And, if you've never heard of Carolina, think of the Oak Ridge Boys or Alabama.
I've heard of.
That's the type of music is going. You can pull them up on, yeah, should be on that list.
Yeah.
You can pull them up on YouTube, and I just want to make sure that everybody knew about it. But having, Thanksgiving baskets, which is, food for, I don't think we're gonna be giving out turkeys. I think we'll probably have gift cards to get turkeys.
When I went that one time, you had to be in the vicinity of the SIM code. So I don't know how that applies for Thanksgiving baskets or anything. Remember what they said, I mean, what they said, that's where I got that really awesome view. Yeah, they said that we had to be in the zip code. What they said.
Use my zip code. How's that? My zip code.
I go to your zip code.
The zip code for the post office, 33780. No, it is.
My zip code.
A few minutes for meeting, this is public comments, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so something I need to share is that, we've been looking at our membership dues this year, how much COC, we collect membership dues. Of course, anyone with lived experience, there's not, scholarship available and everything like that. But we looked at how much funds were available, and the COC leadership, we had to get together and discuss how to make this work out better with our stipends. And so, tonight, it's not gonna go into bed tonight. Tonight, we are all good. But I know that what has been happening for membership, for seat voting members, is that there's been a $25 per hour plus a $10 gas, right? For the LEAC meetings, we need to make it the best way that we can come up with to make it work out for now, is to make the meeting, if you go to a 1 hour meeting, it'd be $25, no more gas card. Or it could be an hour and a half or two, it could be as long as you want the meeting, but it'd be $25 to attend the meeting for voting members. And then as we move forward, you know, we're gonna have membership drive again, begins January 1st. And we can revisit this to see what is possible, and maybe some other ways we can get more money.
I don't know if we could function with less than an hour.
I don't think so either. I was gonna leave it to you all to discuss about that, because an hour and a half, it is an hour and a half meeting. I just wanted to be, just open about the fact that it's gonna be about $25, it would be 37.
But
Seems to be wrong.
I would just lower the stipend to 25, but I don't think we could do this in less than an hour and a half. I mean,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be real.
I think it'd be the committee, we could try and want to see if we could squeeze it into an hour.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt. I don't know when, but we could try it.
just to be clear, we're not saying it has to be 1 hour.
Right.
So keep it an hour and a half. That is not, that's not big. The only thing is that for this meeting, it would only be the $25 stipend.
Right. And
Per meeting.
maybe for a minute, it may be, but, I mean, if we want to try to get it into an hour, we can try, but I don't see it happening.
Like I said, I'm on the boat. We should actually spend it to 2 hours. It seems like we just something fun.
I won't do 2 hours.
Not to have money. No, I'm kidding.
No, I just can't do it for 2 hours. I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be
after
tough.
an hour and a half, I'm pretty much done.
It's gonna be tough. One of the things is because the couple year budget is gonna be very interesting. You can see that there was some funding opportunity and look at that. The feds that all eventually trickle down to us, and that's gonna have an effect. So one of the things I really like to do with this phone and making it visual and sharing it so that people understand, people on the street are people. And if you can let them see that and budget constraints, say, hey, maybe we don't need so much other things. Versus helping people who need help out. The meeting right now, this is the last meeting before Thanksgiving. I want everybody to make sure, read up, do some research, see the places like Metropolitan Ministries and the local churches, see if they have meals available, and please show up, because, yeah, it should be good to get together with other people.
Don't
There are
think
things for the year.
I Fisher had about being under shelter places to go about it. It was, I'm from up north, and when it was too cold for me to be outside on Monday, it's too, it's.
Yeah, it is.
And in addition to that, it's still gonna be chilly in the next couple of nights. And do stay warm. And stay tough, stay in communication, and make sure you're safe. And I wish everybody happy Thanksgiving.
You too, brother.
And hopefully, we'll see you all again next month. If nothing further, we will adjourn the meeting.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Michael, great job, thank you.
What can we say about the, I didn't get it all, that